Hello and welcome to Yin Yoga for Hot Flashes. This is a short practice designed for women who are going through perimenopause and menopause. You are not alone and you deserve care that feels good. My name is Edith. I am your certified yoga and meditation instructor here with Vibes Tribe, and I'm so honored and excited to guide you through this Yin sequence. Yin Yoga is when we hold our poses for longer than we would in a traditional restorative or flow class. Meaning in today's practice, we'll take a fewer number of poses and hang out in them for a little bit longer. I invite you to bring along some props to help support you on that journey, such as yoga blocks if you have them, or you can use small boxes or books if you don't, and a small blanket or towel that you can fold up and use for padding and extra comfort while we're on the mat. When we practice yoga for menopause, it's all about helping the body become cool, calm, and collected. We want to nourish the nervous system and move in a feel-good way without overheating the body. Our short Yin Yoga flow is designed to help you meet menopause with grace and acceptance. So thank you so much for being here. Go ahead and grab your props, get on your comfiest clothes, and meet me on the mat to begin. Welcome to our Yin Yoga practice. Let's go ahead and get started with our child's pose. And I'll offer two different versions of it depending on what feels best for your body. Option 1 will be a little bit of a deeper stretch, while option 2 will provide a gentler, easier option. Stay tuned if you're unsure. And we'll start by unfolding our blanket and placing it wide across the mat where our knees will be. This will provide that extra comfort and support. Option number 1, we start off in our tabletop position. Open the knees as wide as the mat and bring the big toes together. Push your hips back to your heels and then begin to gently walk the hands forward. You can come down to rest on the forearms like so, or if this pose feels good for you and you're able to, you can come all the way down to the mat, resting your forehead down. If you're arriving in option 1 now, begin to breathe deeply and fully. I invite you to close the eyes and fully surrender here. For those of you joining me in option 2, begin by sitting on your heels and bringing your knees and inner thighs to touch. We'll go ahead and drape the chest over the tops of the thighs and turn the head to one side, reaching the arms back with the tops of the hands on the mat. This is your option 2 child's pose. If you still need more support, you can fold up your blanket and place it on top of your thighs to give you extra lift. Whether you're in option 1 or 2, we'll rest here for a while, giving ourselves full permission to relax and let go. We'll stay here for about 10 more deep breaths. Notice if there's anywhere else in the body that you can relax just a little bit deeper. On an exhale, begin to reawaken. We'll press the palms into the mat for option 1 to lift the head and the chest and walk the hands back towards the body. Option number 2, you'll also roll up through the spine, coming back to upright. Let's all take a nice deep breath when we arrive here, maybe rolling the shoulders back, releasing with a sigh. Great job. We'll all meet now on our bellies. So you can move your blanket to the side for now if you'd like. Lowering onto our belly, we're coming into Sphinx pose. So plant your elbows underneath the shoulders and then roll the heart open. Shoulders are down and the neck is nice and long. If this back bend feels too intense for you, that's okay. We can simply walk the elbows forward, creating a gentler option for the pose. So we're really letting our hearts open here, stretching through the lower back and the chest. We won't stay here quite as long, but we will give ourselves 10 deep, nourishing breaths. Last inhale. Exhale, roll your heart down to the mat. Bring your palms carefully under the shoulders and slowly push yourself up to a tabletop position. You can go ahead and unfold that blanket if you'd like that knee support once again. And we're meeting with wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. We'll take a few rounds of our cow and cat pose, allowing energy to move through the body and be released with every exhale. Allowing energy to move and flow through the body. Breathing in, lower the belly down, open the heart, crown of the head reaches towards the sky. Cow pose. Exhale, reverse, arching the spine and hanging the head between the shoulders for cat pose. Take 5 rounds. Finishing up, we'll meet back in our tabletop position, finding a flat back. This is where you can bring in your yoga blocks or those small boxes or books if you have them, but if you don't worry about it. You'll still be okay here. If you don't have the blocks, you'll just bring your hands to the top of the mat, so stepping them forward slightly. We're coming into our low lunge poses. So I'm going to walk my knees upward slightly and then carefully bring my right foot between my hands, so you're either here on your props or here on the mat. We can begin to soften our hips open into the pose now. So the more directly this knee is underneath the hip point, the gentler the pose will be. So take your time and listen to your body. When you're ready, you can start leaning into the palms and that front right foot and carefully step the left knee a little further back if it suits you. We're lifting the head, lifting the chest as we settle into our low lunge pose. This is one of our more intense Yin Yoga postures, so I encourage you to either make it more gentler by bringing the knee in, or just release early if that's what your body is asking you to do. We're taking our final few rounds of breath. And we'll release carefully and slowly by pushing into the mat or the tops of our blocks or props and carefully pulling that right leg back, returning to our tabletop position where we were before. And let's just take it to the other side. So walk the knees forward slightly. Carefully bring that left foot between the hands or the props. Decide how directly you want that right knee under the hip. And then carefully move the right knee back if it's appropriate for your body. Settle in with your breath and just do your best to allow release to take place through the lower body, through the hips. We'll take our final deep breath here. Carefully pull that left leg back when you're ready. And coming back to your tabletop, we can release our hands from the props, cross the ankles, and take a seat. Make your way down to lying on your back. That's where we'll meet. When you arrive here, we have two options for our final pose. Option number one is a more restful and restorative, completely gentle pose. What we'll do for option number one is open our feet to the edges of the mat on the right and left, and then simply allow your knees to fall in and touch. You might notice how the lower back becomes slightly flatter, and it allows those muscles to release and let go. Feel free to place the arms and hands anywhere that you feel comfortable, and this is where you'll rest for our final few minutes together. If you're ready for one last stretch that goes deeper into the hips and lower back, you'll join me in reclined butterfly, bringing the soles of feet together and letting the knees fall open. You can decide how far away you want the feet from the pelvis, making sure to be gentle with your body the whole way through. Close your eyes and enjoy this deep relaxation. Feel free to stay here another minute longer if that's what your body needs today. But otherwise, begin wiggling your fingers and your toes. If you're in reclined butterfly, bring the hands to the outer thighs and carefully press the knees together. If you're here with me, pull the knees apart, bring the feet back to that center, hip-width distance. And we'll all roll onto our sides carefully and slowly, using your hands as you support yourself, meeting me in a seated position. Thank you for joining me in this short Yin Yoga flow for hot flashes and menopause, made by women for women with love. I hope that this practice has served you and supported you, and that you're feeling a little more relaxed and connected to your body in a positive way. I hope to see you in more videos as you navigate your self-care and wellness journey. Until then, take care.